Hey, Oldhammers. I just wanted to do a quick little video about a little gem from the 80s and Oldhammer era called Warhammer Townscape. So, for those that don't know, Games Workshop used to do a lot of cardboard terrain in box sets and stuff like that, which was awesome back in the day, and I absolutely loved them. Like their plastic stuff now is really, really good, especially for I use it for 40k, the plastic stuff, but I won't be using it for Warhammer because yeah, as much as I like their plastic terrain, like for 40k it's all right because I get a lot of it in box sets like Kill Team and stuff like that. But for my old hammering, I'm going to go with Townscape. And is it worthwhile with Warhammer Townscape in this day and age? Is it comparable? Can it look good? Um, yeah. So I thought I'd do a quick video on that and just like a little review with my experiences with Townscape through the years. Now I have a copy of Townscape. I mowed a shitload of lawns back in the day, so I could go to Galaxy Bookshop in the city and pick it up. When I picked up Warhammer Fantasy Battle Third Edition, and that was in 1980 fucking eight. So that was a while ago. But yeah, so but I didn't. I was actually naughty. I didn't cut it up. I photocopied it onto cardstock, and even naughtier, I've found a copy online, and that's what I use. So yeah, I'm not cutting up a bloody $200 book or whatever the ridiculous amount that they want for it on eBay now. But yeah, we'll just go through a little bit on some of the buildings. Can they look good? Things you have to do to make it look good, and yeah, so we'll go down the Warhammer Townscape rabbit hole compared to plastics. So cool. So this is a page from the Townscape booklet. I've just been having to think about it while I was uploading this page, and this is probably for people that are newer to Warhammer, because like old hammering, because the vets would probably know all this stuff too, so they'd probably find it a little bit boring. But hey, but yeah, this is how it comes. As you can see, it's just cardboard cutouts. On the front page, it'll tell you what pages for each building. As you see down there, it says 25, I think, so 25th page, and it'll tell you what buildings at the front page. I think that's the old stables. I can't remember exactly, but yeah, and yeah. So when cutting them out, always make sure that you do the bottom part. I have found that through my dealings with it, if you don't put it on a base, then it's not as strong, which is a bit of a problem. That's the only thing that I see bad about cardboard terrain is storing it. And if you store it on top of each other and it gets crushed, it never ever comes back the same way. But yeah. So, and the other thing that I found out too is, especially around the roof and stuff like that, I always leave a little bit extra than the tabs that are on there, just so the roof has got something extra just to cling on to. And when folding it, what I did was I have a steel ruler, and the reason I got a steel ruler is so that way it was easy for me to cut out with a blade than a plastic ruler. Sorry, I got the hiccups. Um, the next thing with that is, so cut it out with a blade with the steel ruler. Allow a little bit extra on the roof and the base if you can. That way it's got more of a foothold on whichever base you use. I usually use foam core or whatever it's called. It's like the thin plastic on top, thin plastic on the bottom with foam in the middle, foam core or something. I just get that from art shops and things. And that's what makes my base. So, and then I just bevel the edge so that it's a little bit, yeah, it's not so flat and cut off. But the other thing that I found handy too is I'm not sure if it was in the Townscape book itself or in another papercraft one, but they said on there to lightly cut where the folds are going to be. That way your folds are better. What I did was I went out and got a ballpoint pen, an empty one, so there was no ink in it, definitely no ink in it, and I just used a steel ruler and score it with a ballpoint pen. It gives me an indent that I can fold on better than actually cutting it, because if you cut it, you get that little white line in between the cardstock, and it just, yeah, you can see it from miles away. It sticks out like dog's balls. So they recommend that you get like a black Sharpie or something like that, and just lightly go over that white line or whatever. You could use paint if you want, but the whole idea of paper terrain is to cut it, fold it, build it, use it. So yeah, so I found a ballpoint pen, an empty ballpoint pen, 100 times better than actually lightly cutting it, because it does. It gives you that fold mark that you can do straight away. But other than that, then it's just following the instructions and going onward. The advantages of paper terrain stuff like this is that exactly what I said. You cut it, fold it, base it, use it. The plastic terrain, sometimes they can be a little bit of an ass to build. Even with the MDF terrain can be an ass to build, and then painting it as well. So this stuff's already painted and it looks good on the table. I've got some photos and stuff that you can see that it does look good on the table. Just depends how you base it and how you fold it and cut it and everything. But we'll go on to those. But that's just a little tip: an empty ballpoint pen. Yeah, took me years to find that out. I actually think I picked it up from another channel years and years ago, and I can't remember who, which is a bit of a bummer. But if you're out there and you're watching and you know it was your channel, then cheers for that. That was awesome. Good tip. So here's some of the buildings that have been built. I got this off of not another wargaming blog site, so cheers for that. Um, they look nice. They look really, really good. I don't think you can beat them, to be quite honest. Like, the plastic stuff does look good. Sometimes it's a pain in the ass to put together though, and then you've even got to base it as well. But I'm really happy with that. I like Warhammer Townscape. I really, really do. I think it's got huge advantages over the plastic stuff. Once the plastic stuff's built, then that's it. It's built. If you need an inn, then you print off an inn. If you need two inns, then you just print off another inn and do that one. Base it and done. Then you've got two inns. It's infinite. You can print off as many buildings as you want. You can have your whole table done in streets and everything like that. Even for like Mordheim or something like that. Like, there's a game that we used to play that I haven't played in years. But for Fantasy Battle, you can have a windmill, you can have a guards tower, a ruined building, an outhouse. Yeah, awesome. Looks really, really good. I do love it. I think I've got some examples as well from the same website where it's been it's been based, and we'll have a look at that. Now, here's the examples of the buildings that have been based. Looks like it's either thin MDF or foam core. I'm not sure, but it makes it so much stronger. Right, the top right hand corner, there's a stone bridge there. Underneath that is the stables by the look of it. Then the inn, random like house buildings. I think there's even a couple of tents and stuff in Warhammer Townscape. Town hall. One of those bridges though looks like it's been built by balsa wood, but a lot of them are Townscape buildings. Now, you can also use, if you want to do MDF buildings, you can use Warhammer Townscape as a template. That way, it's already sized. You don't have to worry about getting a miniature and having it next to it while you're building it to make sure that the doorways are right and all that, because it's already scaled to that size if you want to use it as a template. And I think some of these buildings here have been that's the way it's been used. Um, but they look really really good. They look awesome. I can see the mill there too, up in the top right hand corner near the stone bridge. But that looks awesome, and the tents very nice. Now I've got to stop fucking swinging in this chair because it's giving me the shits. So I'm sure it's giving you guys the shits too, seeing me swing back and forth in this fucking chair. So I've got to sit still. But yeah, looks really really good. Happy with that. That I would be absolutely happy with printing that off and putting that together and just giving it a base like that, some flock, and boom, done. Then your terrain's limitless. With the plastic stuff, like speaking only from the 40k thing, or like side of things, once you build it a particular way, that's it. You can't unglue that shit. Um, not not to say that the plastic stuff is bad, but I think you've got more options with the paper stuff, and using as a template, it definitely got more options. You could make the stables longer, you could make them wider. It's only limited by your imagination, but yeah, even if you're using that as a template. So yeah, I'll go on to the next one, which is forests. What I'm going to use for forests.